here. Let's do some real Inception shit. I think it's working, girl. Working, girl. Aren't you guys so happy you tuned in early? Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now. Right here, right now. Let's go see. Let's do this. If you can tell everybody, this is your. All right. Hey, listen, if you're joining us on YouTube right now, which I don't think anybody is, right? I don't think anybody is. Let me just see this, guys. All right, stop. We're gonna stop sharing this screen. I promise we're gonna get to it in a second. We're gonna get to it in a second. But you know what? You guys can relax. You guys don't have to be dicks about it. Let's see. There we go. Wow, look at this. You see the delay on YouTube. This is why playback is more intense. Because see, we're on a delay. All right, listen. If you are watching on YouTube right now, do me a favor. Come on over to playback. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. That's where all the good stuff is happening. You're not going to see any projections over here. Come on over to playback. That's where all the good stuff's going to be. Okay, that's where that good is going to be. All right, we're going to stop sharing that screen. No more Inception stuff. Let's dive in. Let's dive into some of this slate now. All right, enough of that shit. We got Weisberg in the chat. Wait, the King of Sot says, I guess Anthony Davis will not suit up today. Is that real? Did you just get that? Did you just get that word? Do we have breaking news right now? That can't be true. He's probable. He's probable. All right, let's start with the injury news, man. Are you lying? The King of Scott, you just won something. The King of Scott, you can't be doing that shit, King. You can't come in here with that energy. The only real injury news we've got, I actually was pretty surprised by this. So, Kevin Love's going to play, and I was watching that game. Yeah, Weisberg, if you want to do that, yes, please. I was watching that game. And I thought for sure Kevin Love was donezo. Okay. I am stunned that he is playing today. But however, scary mother Terry Rozier has been ruled out. So that means we're probably getting a lot of Tyler Hero. Is it going to be a lot of Tyler Hero today? It's I don't know. Does that give a boost to Jaime Jaquez Jr.? What does that do? So we've got that injury news. What else do we have here? Duncan Robinson, good to go. That's really it. So I know we have Anthony Davis, who is questionable for tonight, but here's the thing, guys. Or probable. Anthony Davis is playing. I'm telling you that right now. AD is playing. For all of you nerds out there, for all of the nerds that are like, well, the Lakers should try to lose this game. Grow up. They're going to win this game. Oh, I don't know if they're going to win this game. They're not going to try to lose this game, though. I'm telling you that right now, okay? Let's go look at what the So Rare schedule looks like for these contests. So it's pretty much the same shit, right? It's the same shit. We've got just no special contests. We got pickup. We've got the limited champs contenders, rare champs contender, no more underdog. It's the playoff time. This is what I was saying, though. I think I don't have like a good enough roster made up of like the 4 teams that are in the play-in games. So I'm just focusing on the commons for this one, and then I'll dig in when we actually get into the playoffs. That's just how I'm handling it, because I don't want to buy like DeAndre Hunter and then have, they lose their first game. Like, what am I doing? I'm not going to, I wasted money all season long, but I'm trying not to waste money today. Just a reminder, if you're watching over on YouTube, I put it into the chat. Go join us. Go join us on Playback. That's where the good sex is happening, okay? That's where the fun stuff is happening. It's a very sexy chat in the Playback. That's what I'm paying attention to. So come on over. That's the only way you can get involved in the giveaway. And if you are here for the first time, we've got a couple of visitors. All you have to do is join the room, get involved in the chat, and then you qualify for the giveaway. The King of Scott, Anthony Davis is probable, I believe, right? He's got a P next to his tag. So I'm pretty sure he's probable. Anthony Davis is playing, guys. I'm telling you, AD is playing. It's not time to fire up your Jackson Hayes, okay? Let's dive into some of these projections, shall we? We'll dive into some of the projections, see what we got cooking. Let's see. Let's stop the share. Let's go over here. Did we just see a car go by? That's fun. I like that you guys can see out my window. Shout out John Boy Beats, who we've used Momentum Labs all season. I believe this is it too. This is it for the partnership between us and Momentum Labs. Not because we don't like it, but just because the season's over, baby. The season's basically over. So you're gonna see. This is what's gonna be really hard about the playoffs. So down the stretch, right, you'd have the Portland Trailblazers, who would give you, somebody named Ryan Rupert. You get these like weird guys with a cap of 5. projects for 19, right? And then it allows you to play some of your studs. In the playoffs, we don't have that luxury. The good news is some of those role players that were playing like 28 minutes a game are now going to play like 18 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game. So their cap will come down. So by the time we hit round 2, if their team makes it to round 2, they become like that is where the value is going to come from. But in the first round, in the first week or 2 of this playoff run, it's going to be really, really hard to find value because you're just not going to see those guys. Like somebody like Kobe Buffkin, right? For the Atlanta Hawks. He Oh, I muted the stream, not the microphone. I apologize. So you just got that. But you're not going to get a lot of that value in there. So here we go. Let's start looking at some of this, but you're gonna see it's a lot of red dead. You know what I'm saying? All right, go over to momentum lines. Here we go. So AJ Griffin seems to be the one guy. He's gonna cap at 3 and he projects for 4. So there you go. Although they don't have a game. Oh no, AJ Griffin. I'm sorry, on the Hawks. I would not play AJ Griffin. Torrey Craig. This actually is an area of value. Like he's probably one of the few plays that is going to pop in here that will make sense as a value play because 2 things. Torrey Craig gets meaningful minutes for the Bulls already, but he's one of the few guys on that team that has like real playoff experience. Well, that's not true. Caruso's there, DeRozan's there, Vooch is there, but Torrey Craig's a playoff guy. So I suspect he's one of their. He's just going to be out there more than some of the other guys in this round, like Moses Moody, unplayable. Garrison Matthews, unplayable. Jackson Haight, like all these guys. Maybe you can make a case for Taurean Prince, but Ish don't think so. That's not my favorite. Okay. Let's go back and start looking at it a little bit more here. All right, here we go. So again, now we get up to the cap of 18. But again, if you're talking about a contender lineup, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to like, this is your only source of value. You got Harry Barnes and Larry Nance Jr., okay? I do kind of like Larry Nance. I want to say that. Like Jonas Valanciunas, if you look at his over-unders for tonight, he's like 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So now that Jonas had a couple of moments in the last 2 weeks because Larry Nance has been missing time. I don't think this is a great matchup, even though they do have Anthony Davis, right? It's big on big, but I don't think you can do it. I think I like Larry Nance a little bit better. Jamie says the contender strat has to be 4 players with a low cap DNP. Maybe, yeah. So you play like 4 studs. Yeah, I guess you could do something like that. Let's keep looking, though. You see Harrison Barnes. He's out there. He's going to cap 18 of the projection of 25. Javonte Green. Has Io DeSumo been ruled out yet? I don't know. I think we're still waiting on the Io news, unless somebody saw that already. If Io is out, I think that gives a little bit of a boost to Javonte, excuse me. If Io is in, I don't love this a lot. So I think we gotta pay attention to that. Julius is in the chat. Let's go, Julius. Hey guys, do me a favor. I'm gonna share a tweet right now in the chat. If you guys could do me just like boost this a little bit. I don't know how many people know that we're on Playback instead of YouTube. So do me a favor. Just go boost that tweet. Go give it a little RT duty is what I was trying to do. But do me a favor and do that so we can get some more people in there. All right, let's keep it going. We've got into the war. Keon Ellis, actually, I think is one of the other better value plays. I know it's not like dark green or anything, but a cap of 21 with the projection of 24. I do think he's going to be out there quite a bit. So I do like me some Keon Ellis. Also kind of think Kyle Lowry is interesting. I'm not saying go play Kyle Lowry, but I think it's a little bit interesting only because, listen, this is why they go get him, is for these moments, right? Another playoff guy. I don't know. I think you can talk yourself into it. I'm not saying he's a great play. I think you can talk yourself into it, though, if you needed to. We're trying to find these low cap guys. I wish his cap was a little bit lower, but 21's not the worst. Now we get up here. You see Herbie Jones. He's in a good spot. Cap of 25, projection of 28. Draymond Green, like if Draymond Green was ever going to pop, it's like now, right? They got to win this game. It's a matchup against the Kings. I do think you can see some Draymond Green. DeAndre Hunter's fine. But now we're in the 30 range, right? So Kobe White is great. Alex Caruso, great play. All of these guys are great play, but you've got to, like, I think if I was building a contender lineup, it's got to be like 3 of these guys. It's like Jimmy Butler. What's Tyler Hero's cap, actually? What's Tyler Hero's cap? His cap's at 34. Yeah, you probably can't do it. I don't know. But it's like starting with Jimmy Butler as your best play. I think that's kind of how you got to do it. That's really it. Like, I don't think there's going to be I don't think there's a lot of ways that you can break this down too much, which is kind of why Live Before Lock, no, I wouldn't say shits the bed. It's still good, but like it's not, the intensity's not really there because especially after those first games of the playoff series, outside of weird injuries, we know what the rotations are going to be. I mean, the only edge really is if you think a team goes down 0-2 and they're going to make some like crazy adjustments, like maybe the Miami Heat get out of the first round and then they decide, hey, it's Jaime Jaquez time. So I think about that, I guess, as we get closer. But for this round, I guess like not that we do financial advice here, never ever. If I just don't think you should go out and buy stuff today. That's what I would say. I don't think now's the time to go buy stuff because I just don't think this is too hot. Sorry. I just don't think it's worth it, especially with like some of these guys. Because I don't know. I mean, like the Lakers, maybe, if you think if you think any of these teams have a chance to like really contend for a couple of weeks, then sure. But like Atlanta, Chicago, Sacramento, I'm going to say Golden State too. I wouldn't like go out of my way. Let's get to some of these questions though. Nick Gaiman in the chat saying Ingram or Klay Thompson. So here's what you have to decide. Like Brandon Ingram, cap at 34, projection 27.9. Clay's down here is going to cap at 31, but actually projects a little bit better. Here's what you have to decide between these two. Do you think Brandon Ingram is still on somewhat of a minute restriction? Do you think if you think he's still rusty, he's only played that one game, right? Sunday against the Lakers was his first game back. If you think he's on a minutes restriction, then I would lean Klay. If you don't, I would lean Ingram. I think Ingram has much higher upside than Klay. I mean, Klay could still knock down 10 threes, but that's literally the only way he's getting to 30 points, right? Klay's not going to get you 7 rebounds. He's not going to give you 5 assists. He's either going to knock down enough threes that it makes it worth it, or he's not. So I don't know. I mean, it's where you land on that. I kind of lean a little bit Ingram, but I think Klay's probably the safer play. He's probably the safer play. So there you go. Let's see. Kobe White. Yeah, love Kobe White. CLF. Do you like LeBron, Jaquez, McCollum, Harrison Barnes, and Zion for pickup? Yeah, actually, that's not too different from my lineup right there. I think I'm running out there. Let me actually check my lineup here. I'm running out there LeBron, Zion, Tobias Harris, Kuminga, and Barnes. So based on projections, to like that LeBron Zion start seems to be the way to go. And the Harrison Barnes is in mine as well. Ooh, Jay Blaze in the chat. Let's go, baby. All right. Juju says Fox or Zion. Yeah, man, this is tough. I don't know. I mean, Fox was such a menace in the playoffs last year. This team feels different than last year, but let's see what projections say. Projections say Fox has a cap of 48 with a projection of 47. Zion has a cap of 40 and a projection of 48. So they have Zion projecting 1 point better with an 8 cap difference, right? But I mean, I don't know. Do you believe in playoff Fox? 3DK saying Zion or Vooch. I think to me it's clearly Zion. I know he looked bad against them the last game. Vooch here has a cap of 37 with a projection of 40.8. I know Vooch has some pretty good historical numbers against the Atlanta Hawks, but I mean, Vooch, outside of like the last 2 games, I feel like he's been pretty disappointing. He's been pretty disappointing this season, especially the second half of the season. I think I would go that way. All right, what else we got here? Embiid, Curry, Butler, Herb, and Barnes. Yeah, I love that. Herb and Harrison Barnes are 2 of like the better value plays. You don't have a ton of guys that pop in the green, so I like that quite a bit. JH10. Super Carl says choose your players as if Tibbs was coach. Yeah, man, I wish. Juju says I believe Fox have a banger game, whereas I don't really trust Zion. There you go. Listen, there. If that's where you land, whatever's gonna listen to your heart. It is calling for you. Yeah, I don't know. Caleb Martin. Yeah, we can talk about Caleb Martin. Does Caleb Martin get a little bit of a boost with Scary Terry out? He's got a cap of 18 with a projection of 15. Actually, you know what? Let me check top tier projections because I want to see if those Miami guys got a little bit of a boost since I can't remember if that had happened before or after John updated his stuff. He's got Caleb Martin with a cap of 18 with a projection of 18. So but that's not terrible for what we're looking at. So yeah, I think Caleb Martin's fine there, Common Man. King of Scott says Bone. We haven't looked at Sabonis' projections. He's been weird the last month, but he's got a cap of 42, projection of 51. Pretty solid. Chief says, give me those DeJounte projections. DeJounte has a cap of 50 but he projects for 41.5. It sounds like Trae Young's minute restriction is going to be completely off now too. And if that is the case, you know, that might slow down DeJounte a little bit, but I think DeJounte's fine. Julius wants me to rank. I would rank them. Oh man, Harrison Barnes, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson is how I would do it. Luke Cornett does not project this slate, Sneeps, but very good question. Yeah, good point by Weisberg. Sabonis and Fox will probably play 40 minutes tonight. Yeah. Curry and Herb Jones or Bam and Kobe White. Ooh, you know what? We haven't talked about Bam's projections. You know, are you nervous about foul trouble against Embiid? So Bam has a cap at 39 with a projection of 38. White has, so that's basically the same projection, right? So what is that? That is 76, basically 76, 77 versus what did you say it was? Curry, who's got a projection of 43. Okay, this and Jones with a 28. Wow, that's pretty damn close. But yeah, the white one seems to Bam and White, baby, is where we're going. All right, Shrift says Bam, Hero, Buddy, Keegan, and Caruso all common for a limited tip-off. Guys of interest I'm leaving out or done. Are any of those limiteds, though? If you have any limiteds, I would use the limited there. Joker Rock, yeah, man, Playoff Jimmy. Is Playoff Jimmy back? Is he back? I hope so. Saric projection, sure, Abdullah. We can look at Saric. I don't know. He's not projecting for anything on Momentum Labs. Let me double check over here. Yeah, no projection for Dario Saric. They're projecting for a zero. AD or DeRozan or LeBron and DeJounte. Fuck, man. These are really close. This is going to be tough. I actually think I lean AD and DeRozan. I think LeBron's got the best matchup, but I could see like AD, like I could see LeBron getting you 60, right? But I could see AD and DeRozan both getting you 50. We haven't looked at DeRozan's projections, I don't think, over here. Also, hey, if you're joining us, I see 11 people over on the YouTubes. We're live on Playback. So come on over here to play, but come play it back. Come on Playback. That's the only way you can get a shot at a giveaway. So come over to Playback. I see like Spud over here. I see some people over there. Come on over to Playback, okay? Okay, girl. But yeah, we didn't really look at DeRozan's projections yet. DeRozan has a cap of 44, projection 40. Yeah, man, I think God, that's tough. I think I go the DeRozan route. All my cards are commons. Okay, how's Tobias looking? Like a dog shit. Hold on. Think DeLon Wright I don't, Jamie. I don't think DeLon Wright gets that many minutes because I think they have guys like Caleb Martin. I mean, maybe he gets a few minutes, but Duncan, I don't know. I think it's pretty risky. I think it is pretty risky, but it's totally up to you. I don't hate it though. I like the thinking there, Jamie. Alex Lynn, I don't think he's supposed to be out there. He's going to cap a 9 in a projection of 5.8. Actually, you know what, Steve? That's not a terrible call if you're looking for somebody that's terrible, like a really low cap, so you can fit in some better players. I don't hate it. Super Cal, do not take how's Tobias looking? No, I'm not taking him over Jimmy. That's crack cocaine. He's going to cap at 33 with a projection of 34. Jimmy projects for 3 points better, but I don't think so. I got Jaime Jaquez for 7, and now he's 20. There you go, dude. Flex on him, baby. Flex on him. Chef Curry says a projection for Kevon Looney. He's got a cap at 13 with a projection of 0. That ain't right. Let me double check this again. Oh, wow. No, he's projected for 0. Okay. Let's see. Rui or Reeves? Give me a Reeves over Rui. 2 out of Sabonis. CJ, it's Sabonis. I would rank them. Sabonis and Fox clearly are ahead of CJ and Bam. So I would go, Sabonis and Fox. AD or Embiid? I love Anthony Davis. I think he's in a great matchup. I'm never picking anybody over Joel Embiid. I mean, not ever, but not tonight. Somebody was asking for a Trae Young projection. Sure thing. Cap of 40, the projection of 35. I tell you what, though, I'm going to use Zakarian math here. I'm going to boost that up to 40, okay? Actually, I just checked top-tier projections. They also have it for 40. I think Trae Young, his minute restriction is going to be lifted. I think he's going to cook. Trent Forrest, I don't think will play any minutes. Unless I miss something, I do not think he'll play minutes. DeMar DeRozan yelling projection? What? He projects for 40. Oh, you mean DR? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It is a home game for Chicago, right? That's a great point. I didn't think about that. Tyrese Maxey and Caleb Martin or Dre and I would go Maxey and Martin. I would. I would. Yeah, I don't think Trent Forrest is playing. Can you rank AD, Braun, and Fox? Man, I kind of like LeBron the most out of these three. I really do. I kind of like LeBron the most. Um, I think I would go LeBron, Fox, Anthony Davis. I just think we're going to get a big LeBron game. Torrey Craig projections. Yeah, Abdullah, I hit that one a little bit earlier. So he projects okay. He's got a cap of 10 with a projection of like 11.3. Top tier projections have him for 13.5. So somewhere it's like one of the, again, one of like the few value plays we actually have for this game week. So I do think if you have Torrey Craig, you can play him. Did anyone swap for a common Draymond today? Oh, no, I didn't. Batum? Is Batum going to get minutes? Let's see. They got him for cap of 18 with a projection of 16.8 there. Nicholas Batum. You know what? I actually don't hate this. I think you could boost that up a couple of points too. I think Batum is a solid play. I think Batum is a solid play. Also, a reminder, I see some bitches up over on YouTube. If you're over on YouTube, come on over to Playback. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. You can find a link in the chat, in the show description, all that stuff. All that good stuff. That good stuff. What other chats we got here? Duel says, I got Braun, Fox, and Embiid, Javante, and Saric. Oh, man. Saric is not going to play, but it does get you Braun, Fox, and Embiid, so that's pretty solid. A little unrelated, but I got a Lively as a tier 2 reward last game week. Is that good, or did I get finessed when I so Lively's pretty good, man. He is not gonna he might not be ready for round like the beginning of the playoff series, but you got a rookie. I think he's the backup big on Dallas that when he does come back, you can play him. You can play him. So I don't hate that. Yeah, is Keon Ellis that good? Keon Ellis is really good for the playoffs because he is one of the better on-ball defenders left in the playoffs right now. It's really the only, outside of Davion Mitchell, the only other defender the Sacramento Kings have, and going up against Steph and Clay. And if they win that game, going up against either the Lakers or the Pelicans, he will be required to do a lot of defending. He's not going to very rarely is he going to knock down like 5 threes or anything. But he does have the ability to get some steals and stuff like that. So Keon Ellis here has a cap of 21, projects for 24. I think he's got a pretty high minute cap though. Top tier projection has him almost 30. He's one of my favorite value plays. Is there any player with a cap of 7 with any sort of projections? Not really, man. Not really. So down Alex Len was the one. No, that's cap of 9. You see AJ Griffin might get 4. His projection is 4. So there you go. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. Look at the rewards to see what tier Draymond is and trade in some of the. Oh, wait. Why did Jovel play 2 minutes and then nothing until the fourth quarter the other day? You know, I was just having a conversation with my boys about that because we're doing some underdog drafts. Willie Green does not trust Jonas Valanciunas. I don't think. I think they've learned that the Pels play a little bit bigger when they go small. I mean, a little bit better when they go smaller at the 5, and that's why we're seeing a little bit more Larry Nance Jr. So I actually think Larry Nance is probably a better play than Jonas Valanciunas. You did see him have a couple of ceiling games last week or 2 weeks ago, but that had to do with Larry Nance missing some time. Zion missed like a quarter and a half, and Jonas was required to play a little bit more. They Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, they have a lot of different ways that they can play defense. And I just don't think he's going to get the right amount of minutes without like an injury or foul trouble happening. So, they even had. I just don't think it's going to be Jonas. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Super Carl said Prince, Jaime, and Batum. Pick 2. Man, I don't really know what to do with Jaime Jaquez, right? Because I think when we did the second half of the season, right, we've seen Jovic moving in the starting lineup. We know Jimmy Butler is going to play more minutes now that we're in the playoffs. Caleb Martin's role is going to extend a little bit. I kind of thought Kevin Love was going to miss tonight's game, and that would make me like Jaime a little bit more. So I think Batum's the clear best play here, and then it's deciding between Prince and Jaime Jaquez, and I don't. So Prince has a cap of 15 with a projection of 10. Jaime has a cap of 13 with a projection of 7.5. Let me check top tier as well. They have him projecting for 9, where oh my god, what was the other guy? Jaquez or Batum, Prince. So yeah, he's got Prince better too. So it's Prince and Jaquez there. I mean Prince and Batum there, excuse me. So there you go. Cap of 16, projection of Oh, Sneeps is just talking to himself in there. Reese says best cat. There's not much, man. There's not much down here. I think it's going to be Torrey Craig. Um, you see, Torrey Craig is a cap of 10 with a projection of 11.5. Garrison Matthews has a cap of 16 with a projection of 11. Torian Prince cap of 15 with a projection of 10.8. There's not much there. There's not much there. Is AJ Griffin still alive? Barely. I don't really trust that. I mean, the only way you're doing something like that is if you're playing like LeBron, AD, and Fox. I don't know. Do you have a strategy for the playoff tourney? Not really. I mean, because it's still kind of week to week, right? It's just like how you do week to week, unless I misunderstood that. I think for the play-in tournament, I'm not really messing around with it. I'm just not. I'm going to play my commons. And then for the playoff tournament, I mean, I guess I'll wait till I see some of the matchups, but I think everything's like kind of appropriately priced right now. I don't think you're seeing a lot of deals out there. So I'm not going out of my way to like buy some stuff. I thought we'd get a it's like, yeah, it's not a multi-week tournament. It's like each individual tournament, but like a cumulative score. Is DeAndre Hunter cameo? Yeah, I kind of like DeAndre Hunter. I do kind of like DeAndre Hunter. I know he's pretty hit or miss here. Cap of 28, projection of 27.6. Let's look at this range. This is who I would take over. Like, all right, Weisberg's in the chat. I think it is included. It's Hershey. I think it is. Weisberg's in the chat. Would you play? How many minutes do you think Kuminga plays? How many minutes do you think he plays? Because I could see this going one or two ways. I could see him being one of the more important guys on the squad. I could also see his minutes being shrunk. It's Hershey says 22. Hashtag come bucket. That's right. Jump shoot. Jump shoot knows. But because I kind of think I almost want to take DeAndre Hunter over Kuminga. I would not take him over Draymond Green. In that range, Kobe White and Draymond Green are like far and away the best plays there. But I do think I would take Hunter over Kuminga. I think I would take Wiggins over Kuminga. I mean, listen, this could be like the last, we're either going to learn that Wiggins is dead or that Wiggins still has something left in the tank. And I think it might be a last opportunity to buy low on him. If you think he has anything left, it's going to be now, right? So I do think you could fire up some Wiggins here before everyone else knows to fire up Wiggins. You know what I mean? So I don't hate that take, but I do. I think I would take Wiggins, Hunter, Draymond, Kobe White, Trace Jackson Davis. I would take all of those guys over him. I'm curious what they do with Trace Jackson Davis. Because with Kevon Looney not projecting at all, unless I missed an injury report or something like that. Yeah, I know TJD will start, but like we've seen guys start for teams just to play like 16 minutes, I imagine, the way Kerr treats young guys, he'll have a pretty short leash in the playoffs. So I don't know. I know Looney. That's why I was kind of surprised not to see Looney projecting at all. Chief saying Torrey Craig and DeAndre Hunter are the pod god and Harrison Barnes. I would go Torrey Craig and DeAndre Hunter. I don't feel confident about it, but that is what I would do. That's the direction I would go. There it is. The Anthony Black special starts and plays about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what? Let's go over to the marketplace quickly. I kind of want to check on something because I do think like when Jumpshoot was asking about strategy regarding this stuff, I do think there's a way to maybe get ahead of a couple of things. And it basically, Keon Ellis is a good for this game week. Keon Ellis is a great play, Weisberg. The thing that I'm like most interested in here, can we just sort by team? Yeah. So like Paolo, I mean, say again, the rares are up. The rare tier cards are up now. I think the way that you can get ahead on some of this, I would take Herb Jones over Keon Ellis though, but it's close. But I would take Herb Jones over him. I think the way that you could possibly get ahead on this, if you think teams aren't being properly rated for their playoff series, like I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong here. I'm very surprised by the odds in the Cleveland Cavs Orlando Magic series. I kind of feel like the Magic aren't going to have that. Not that they won't have a problem with them, but I feel like Orlando's going to win this series. And I think a lot of people are, and another example are the Pacers and the Bucks. Like, if you think the Pacers and the Bucks have a shot at winning, like Halliburton's probably appropriately priced, right? Because everybody already knows that Halliburton's good. Yeah, like 243. But Siakam here is sub $9. His rare for this season, the one like you need one of these, right? Is sub $64. And if you're telling me you'd have a shot at getting that guy for multiple rounds, that means a solid wing who is like, if they're not their best scorer, their second best scorer for 2 full series. Like, I don't know. I think there's actual value there. So I think taking a look at spots like that is where you can get ahead of it. And maybe you're like, well, Siakam and Halliburton are already properly priced, but like Miles Turner rare is $20. TJ McConnell, who, like, I'm telling you right now, TJ McConnell is going to play. He's going to play. Like, McConnell is going to play basketball for them. So I don't know. I think that's kind of how you could get ahead of stuff if you think there is a spot that people aren't paying attention to in a series, right? Weirdly, I think the Mavericks are going to be thought to like wash the Clippers in that series, although we still don't have the Kawhi news. But anyways, I don't know. I think that's one way you can attack this if you're trying to get ahead of stuff. Um, Also, like, if a team loses game one, I wonder if everybody already like starts freaking out about it. Uh, you might be able to get value on a team that's down. Boston base, I can't do that. I can't do that. Weisberg's gonna pick him tonight. That's over 9.5. Okay. All right, Weisberg. You guys have anything else for me? I know live before lock's gonna feel a little bit different because again, we're not gonna most of the injury news we're gonna know ahead of time. Like, I know LeBron and AD are probable for tonight, but Embiid's already been ruled in. Uh, Terry's already been ruled out, so we've got most of the news already. Um, yeah, Matt, you want maxi projections? Sure. But that's kind of how this will go the rest of the week. We'll do it again on Friday at our normal time. We'll have more games to sift through. So Maxi has a cap of 46 with a projection of 44. Melton was ruled. I missed the Melton news. All right. So that is like good for Kyle Lowry. And yeah, like one other wrinkle, like obviously if you're playing guys and their team wins, you get a second game out of them. So like that probably makes the um or they actually, I'm sorry, if they lose, if the 7 or 8 seed lose, so if the Lakers, whoever loses in tonight's game, you'll get a second game out of, and whoever wins, well, that's not true. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you're in the 9-10 seed and you win, you get a second game. So like you might get 2 from the Bulls and 2 from the Pels. Who knows? So that makes them a little bit more valuable. That's a little bit harder to predict, I think. I also imagine too we see score like, well, I shouldn't say we see scoring go down. I think overall scoring go down, individual player scoring go up because those minutes get shrunk a little bit. But I don't know if there's nothing else. Let's give this thing away. Why don't we give yeah, Weisberg's gonna come on here. Let me put my headphones back on too, Mike. Um let me fix this here. And before we do the giveaway, Mike, do you guys have any playback stuff you need to talk about? Hell yeah.